Alright guys, today we're going to check out this bipod by CV Life. Now they make a bunch of different models of these, but this is, as far as I know, their most top end, highest model there. So it's going to command the highest price, but this thing is really well made, very strong, robust. I'm going to do some demonstrations for you, take a few shots with it. I'll show you more once I get it up on the rifle, but it'll swivel and pivot. And then these legs here are adjustable. You got lots of different marks for adjustable. All the way down with the legs straight up, it'll get you 8 inches of height. And then all the way extended with them straight up, you get 11 inches of height. And this is, of course, made for M-LOK. Okay, then yeah, just like I thought. So these buttons allow you to pivot it. So there would be your straight down, okay? So if you needed lower than 8 inches, you can pivot it at a 45-degree angle like this. And it does bring you a little lower there. And of course, you can even go straight out if you want, like that, if you need to get real low. So the 8 to 11 inches is with it straight up like that, but you do have the option to fold the legs all the way forward, obviously to tuck up out of the way. But you can do a 45-degree angle too, which will come in handy depending on your terrain. But you can see, as opposed to it being straight up, they do lock at a 45-degree angle, so that'll get you even lower there if you need to, and it'll still allow you to pivot and swivel. And again, I'll demonstrate that in just a second.
That's part of the advantage with this design. They lock into different positions. Your cheaper bipods, they will only fold up, forward, out of the way, and then fold straight down. These ones will lock at 45-degree angles forward and backwards, and you can fold them completely backwards if you want, or completely forward.
Also, if I didn't already mention it, or you didn't catch it in the thumbnail there, it does come in flat dark earth like mine is. I'm putting it on a black rifle, but I wanted the FDE just so it's a nice offset so you guys can see it good. You know, especially under all the like shading down in here and whatnot, sometimes it's hard to see black. So you can get FDE or black. And of course, the link will be in the description for this if you want to check it out. Okay, I just wanted to show you mounted up on the underside there real quick. So this knob, like I said, will adjust, being able to let you pivot and swivel and all that. So with it tightened up, it doesn't let it sway. So if you want to lock it at a particular angle or whatever, or just straight up and down so that the rifle doesn't pivot for some reason, you would just tighten that up. And then if you loosen it up some, then you can see it'll allow me to pivot now, but it gives a little bit of resistance. I can't pivot yet. If you go just a little further, swivel, it then allows it to swivel. But if ever you want to lock it up so you can't do any of that, a little bit there will make it a little more stiff. If I held the rifle, it's stiffer now. And then obviously if you really crank on her there, it's going to pretty much lock it up unless you force it. So let me get this bag out of the way so I can give you guys a better look of it. Okay, there she is there, and this is a 5.56 carbine, so on the smaller side there. I mean, this is kind of a big boy. Like I said, it's pretty heavy duty, which is why it commands a higher price. It does have a little bit of heft to it. Really strong as far as I can tell. You know, we're going to bash it around some, but it's pretty freaking robust. I was real surprised because the pictures do not do it justice. I was like, that looks maybe kind of cheap, but as soon as I pull it out of the box, I was like, oh no, okay, this thing is very well made. So it's I'm wiggling my rifle there, and you see it's like real steady, other than I can pivot it there. It's locked up kind of snug and not completely loose. So you can see I've just loosened it there. Now it moves way easier, and I could go looser than that still, but it's made to real tight tolerances. You know, I've had a lot of them that are rattle traps, and you set the rifle down and the whole thing shifts and all that. The tolerances on this are really tight. It's really strong and robust. I mean, you can tell just by the size of the hardware, this thing is built tough. And it's like, they say it's aluminum and polymer construction, but as far as the strength goes, it feels stronger than aluminum. It must be a better aluminum or something. I'm going to have to rig up the camera real quick to show you this. I can't do all this one-handed. Yeah, I really wanted to show you this, what I was talking about earlier. So like I said, if that happens to be too high for you, you know, obviously these are mostly made for like proning out in the field or whatever. you can drop these. See how that's gonna, hang on, let me tighten this up a little bit so it doesn't pivot on me there when I'm trying to show you what I'm trying to show you. So like I was saying earlier, you can pivot that and it locks 45 degrees, and you see how the gun wants to drop lower now? So you can do that with both. Hard to do everything one-handed here. Keep the camera straight. I need a new camera stand. So you see that gets me a little lower there, having it at a 45, and then of course they lock all the way forward too if you need to go super low. So don't let that 8 to 11 inches of height fool you there. If 8 is still too high, you flip them forward, you can get even lower. And then again, to extend them, you just press this button, and then it's got, you know, I don't know, every 3/4 of an inch roughly. It's got a setting until you're all the way out. So you can go real high up if you want, which I would almost have to stand to shoulder that at that point. So between 8 and 11 inches straight out like that, but you got the optional 45-degree lock, and then of course all the way forward. Okay, like so. And of course these have full range of motion, so you know, most of the time people will fold them forward to get them out of the way. That way you can still grip your handguard there, but you can fold them all the way back if you want. And it's just the position we're having. You know, if you want to get it away from the muzzle blast, if you got a shorter barrel like me, of course I got all these other M-LOK rails down here. I can move the position of where I want it there. Well, that'll about do it there, guys. So if you want a good, I would say it's getting up there for budget, but if you want a really good bipod there, full range of movement, full swivel, 45-degree locks and everything, pivoting and all that, and you don't want to spend 150, 200 for those name brands, then definitely check this one out by CV Life. There'll be a link in the description. For any of the other products you see me use in my videos, rangefinder, earmuffs, safety glasses, shooting bag I use there, target stand, paper targets I use, steel targets, and way more. Links in the description for all that. But thanks for stopping by, checking this one out today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope to catch you on the next one.